Hi everyone! So this week's episode features three main things. Lots more countryside from the places that we visited. I'm going to have a little bit of a moan about the Caravan and Motorhome Club site at Hebden Bridge. And then finally, of course, we can't forget the Jubilee celebrations. Now, one of my friends asked me if we could include some maps, and I've looked into Ordance Survey and have managed to acquire a media licence, so I've got some maps incorporated courtesy of Ordance Survey. I don't know how it took so long to work out that brilliant app OS Maps, but we've been using it for the last couple of weeks and it is absolutely brilliant, and I really encourage anyone to do it because you can find some great footpaths that I don't think you'd find otherwise. Smash in for the dogs. Anyway, enjoy the episode and see you soon. Hiya. So me and the boy, Archie, are in the woods. It's a drizzly day today. We've lost some of our sunshine. But as you can see, we're walking in this beautiful woodland. The path is actually quite well defined, but we are all alone. And it's great fun. After doing lots of socialising, it's nice to be back in the peace and quiet again and just enjoying the tranquility of being inside in the countryside. Hear heavy breathing, that's a good sign. It means I'm still alive. And as you can see, we've reached the top of the tree line of the woods that I was in, and as if I spin the camera around very slowly, you'll see it's, I don't know whether you would call it misty or low cloud, but it's definitely a drizzly old day, but still very enjoyable. Sad today, and I just want to explain a story and an experience that we've had. So we were at the Hebden Bridge Caravan and Motorhome Club site. Yesterday was a really rainy day, so I thought, you will know we're living in this van, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to wash the van. And you'll have seen me before because I've shown it in a previous episode. I just use a single bucket of water, get my one cap full of Dirt Buster out, which is a very mild detergent specifically for caravans and motorhomes, and my valet brush because that helps me reach the top of the van. Anyway, I'd cleaned the van and I'd just emptied the bucket in the grey waste water, and I was walking back to the van and a member of staff there didn't actually come out, but from behind the little enclosure in a fence said, "You can't wash your van, it's in the rules." And I said, "Oh, really?" And they said, yes, in the rules. And I said, "Oh, sorry about that, I wasn't aware, but is there any reason why not?" And it's in the rules and it contaminates the ground. So I accepted that, went back to the van and thought, do you know what, I'm not so sure about that. I'm going to read the rules and check them for myself. And sure enough, there is a rule that says you can wash your windscreen, you can wash your lights, and you can use a bucket of water and a sponge and some mild detergent, but you can't actually do the whole van. So I decided to send an email to the Caravan and Motorhome Club. I haven't had a response to that yet, so I don't know what they'll say, but just to say, I can understand why you would say don't use a hose pipe, because the reasons they put on their website is it can damage the pitch, it can damage other people's outfits. And I would dispute that my single bucket of water with a valet brush rather than a sponge, and extending that bucket of water, incidentally some was left which I threw away in the wastewater, could do any more damage than what they suggest. So anyway, I've asked them to consider an amendment to the rule. But what really made me sad is literally within the hour, another member of the staff on the site came to us and said, you have to wind we had our canopy out. We were on a pitch without an awning. We don't have an awning, so we don't need that. But we'd had our wind out canopy out, secured with storm straps. So this member of staff said, oh, you can't have that out, you're on a pitch without an awning, or at least you have to wind it in at night. And Sue was outside chatting to him and said, look, we've just read the rules, we think we can. So she called me out because I'd read them, and I explained that I'd read the rule and I'd interpreted it that as long as it was secured effectively, and the safe distance was still maintained, that wasn't a problem. And he didn't accept that, but I showed him the rule and he accepted that. And to be fair, he wasn't impolite at all. But after he left, Sue and I sat there and thought, and I'd actually said to him at the time, I'm feeling a little bit, what was the word that I used? Not victimised, but a little bit persecuted here. I didn't understand why within an hour, we're effectively being told that we're breaking another rule, and yet we'd been there 2 days. The canopy had been out at least 24 hours by then, and nobody had said anything to us. And actually, there were other people on the site. So there was another motorhome with a tent underneath the canopy. No problem with that from my perspective. But there's a big sign as you come into the site saying no tents. So it appears that we were being challenged about rules. We accepted we'd broken one rule unwittingly, but we were being challenged around rules, and yet that ban had been there it was there when we arrived. So the more we thought about it, the more we felt it was quite unjustified, and it started to wonder why us. It felt like we were being picked on. So we decided we really felt quite uncomfortable about that. We certainly didn't feel welcome, and we decided that we would leave a day early. The great news, the only kind of silver lining to all that, is that we found a brilliant country park, which I'll talk about shortly. And in the meantime, we'll wait to see what the Caravan and Motorhome Club say about the circumstances and the experience that we have had, and hopefully they'll refund us one day, but we'll see.
Archie, it's over here.
Oh, you got it.
That'll do him.
You got it, Fudge. And then she nicked it. Not sure if you can see that. Look, thousands and thousands of little tadpoles. How fascinating is that? As promised, I thought I'd mention the country park that we found having left Hebden Bridge site early. So it was the Penistone Hill Country Park, which is just outside Haworth. I hope I've said that correctly. But the great thing about it is there was lots and lots of walks through the country park, no sheep in sight. Well, there were sheep in sight, but a very long distance away from where we were. Lots of indications that rabbits were there. Didn't see any rabbits, but Fudge in particular was on high alert and running around with a tail in the air, a tongue hanging out, and really enjoying herself. And we would never have found that had we not left Hebden Bridge earlier, because we're heading off to another destination. So as I said earlier, a little bit of a silver lining to our sad story, and hopefully a little bit of compensation for how we were made to feel yesterday. So our mood has lifted enormously. Hi, thought I'd give you a very quick update to the response we've had from the Caravan and Motorhome Club to my question about amendment to the rule about washing outfits. And they have responded to that. It's clear from the response they're not going to consider changing that rule. They have restated what's on the website and added slightly more about the fact that it could contaminate the pitch, and that would not be nice for other people staying on the same pitch. Now, whilst I disagree with that, I have to accept it. The reason I disagree is I think they've attached a totally disproportionate effect to what my one single bucket of water will cause, but nevertheless have to accept the change of rule. Now, in relation to the other matter where we were approached for a rule that we hadn't broken, they've asked us to allow for up to 20 days for them to investigate that and respond to it. So once we get a response to that, then I will of course update.